here. What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday, March 8th, 2023. We've got, what do we say, 7? I believe I counted 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we got 7 games of basketball tonight. Had a nice medium slate last night as well. How are you guys doing? What's up, Vic? What's up, Crispy? What up, Conscious? What up, Rob? Here. Hopefully you guys are doing all right. Should be a fun day. I'm pretty excited for a lot of things today. Basketball tonight. We should hit 8,500 subscribers today. We're 13 away, and we've been doing like 20 subs a stream. So nice little milestone there. Getting us closer to 9K. Maybe we'll get 9K by baseball season. 22 days? Possibly. How'd you guys do last night? Last night, your king of the mountain, Anthony Davis, 64.5 DraftKings points, 30 real points, 22 rebounds, 3 assists. He had 2 blocks, 7 turnovers. Joel Embiid second with 39, 7 and 4. There was no James Harden. And oddly enough, the Sixers kind of blew out the T-Wolves there in one of the more unlikely scenarios because the Sixers were road dogs going into that game on a back-to-back without Harden. Steph Curry third, 60 fantasy points. He dropped 40 real points, 6 boards, 7 assists, 10 three-pointers made. I love that he can hit 10 threes in a game right now, and it's not even news because that's Steph Curry in 2023 basketball. Josh Giddey, 38 minutes out of him yesterday. He got you a triple-double. We were on his, I think, was it 29 and a half? It was some PRA, but he cleared that, so that's good. Luka Doncic, 57 fantasy points. Him and Kyrie, again, combining for 100-plus fantasy points apiece. Both guys almost 30 points apiece. Kyrie over 33. Kyrie, one of the tacos on PrizePicks, cleared pretty easily. And then Bradley Beal continues to play deep minutes. 38 minutes yesterday. 32, 7 and 7. So this is the Beal we've been waiting for all year long. And you love to see it. J-Rock, thank you for the sub, man. I hope you're doing all right. Larry Markkinen, 51 fantasy points, SGA 48. Gordon Hayward, I think one of the more surprising names here at the top. 23, 9, and 8 for him. 36 minutes, 48 and a quarter fantasy points. Chris Middleton, 48 fantasy points in 31 minutes. And Nick Claxton, 13 rebounds, 18 real points. We talked about, we talked about the rebounding matchup that the Houston offers. The other thing we really keyed in on for fantasy, and we were all over his PrizePicks fantasy score, was the block matchup. Houston giving up the most blocks per game, and he had 4 blocks. So that was well researched. 12 points right off the rip for that. And yeah, we liked a lot about the Nets yesterday, but that was certainly one of them. So hopefully you guys made out all right. And I'm hoping we take that momentum into today's slate and hopefully find some more leans for our prop betting streets and maybe make a pretty sharp player pool for our DFS endeavors. What up, Beast? Hit 1K subs today. Let's go. Yeah, I stopped by your channel. Was it yesterday? The day before? So you got a couple of videos that are popping off. And I think it's the prop videos, man. The people want the prop videos. It's killing DFS. It really is. What up, Jake? What up, Josh? What up, Jay? Hope you guys are all doing all right. Appreciate everyone being here this early. Where are we at? 20, 30 viewers. We'll be at 200 in like 30, 40 minutes. So you guys are the real ones. We need a name for the group. You guys that are here off the rip, you guys are like you ever, I don't know, the quarterbacks that are in the QB film room before the facility even opens. That's you guys. You guys are that player. So I appreciate you guys so much. We're gonna do a little bit digging here, going game by game, a little bit of research. Is the music too loud, too low? I feel like it might be a tad bit too loud. And then we'll open up the rundfs.com NBA VIP spreadsheet, do a little bit of digging. We'll talk about some plugs and promos throughout the stream, namely the promo we've launched for today. Coupon code WED, like Wednesday, 3/8, like March 8th, will get you 20% off any membership at rundfs.com. So definitely take advantage of that. And that's it, right? That's it. Let's do some research. Hawks, Wizards, project starting 5 for the Hawks. Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Clint Capella, taking on maybe Monte Morris. We'll see about that. Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, Kristaps Porzingis, and Daniel Gafford. 236.5 total, 3-point spread in favor of the Hawks. Let's pause for the cause. Let's do a 3 p.m. check here. Nurkic questionable, MPJ probable, Monte Morris questionable, Kevin Love probable, Reggie Bullock doubtful. So Monte Morris is the notable name there. So is this the depth chart? Wait, what happened here? NBA Roto World. Depth chart. I got the wrong tab open. Here it is. Monte Morris has missed a stretch of games, and that might be one of the reasons why Bradley Beal's playing so deep. But I also just think it's down to the nitty-gritty. I think I saw that this game is actually pretty important for the Wizards in terms of their chances of making the play-in. So let's actually look at that. Let's pull up NBA standings. We'll stay at the East. Watch. There we go. God dang it. Go back. Wizards are in the 10 spot, 31-34. So to pick up a win here over the Hawks, who are in front of them, just one win above them in the win column. So this is a meaningful game. So I think that is another reason why we should continue to expect big minutes out of Bradley Beal. So just something to think about going into this one. So Monte Morris, that's what we were doing, looking at status. Lower back soreness, questionable. He's missed the last 4 games. So I guess no news is no news here. We'll see if he can go. If he can't go, expect DeLon Wright to draw the start again. That's what they've been doing. And then, of course, like I said, it has also resulted in big minutes for Bradley Beal. And even with Kuzma and Porzingis being as active, and I think those guys become intriguing plays in this matchup, I really can't get away from $8,100 Bradley Beal in this matchup. And I felt like this last night as well. 32 real points against Detroit in 38 minutes. That's back-to-back 30-plus real point games. Has scored 30 or more in 3 of his last 5, and the shot volume is 20-plus. Just getting it done here. And the Atlanta Hawks are one of those fast-paced matchups where you have to play up, and this is a pace-up spot for the Wizards, so more implied possessions. Just a lot of positives going for the ceiling, the fantasy ceiling, if nothing else, for Bradley Beal here. So gotta like the thought of $8,100 Bradley Beal being a solid DFS play. Let me see. Actually, let's go look at PrizePicks here and pull up NBA. Let's see what the Wizards. It's International Women's Day. I have heard that 100 times today. I didn't know it yesterday. I don't know if it's one of those like app things that happen. And this, like, I love women, obviously, they're amazing. But like, I didn't hear a single person mention anything about it yesterday. So I just feel like everyone woke up and their iPhone was like, it's International Women's Day. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, you could have said that a week ago. Nobody would have known if it was or wasn't. Like, I don't know. But hey, happy International Women's Day to all the awesome women out there. What's up, Nate? What up, dang lazy mofo? Hope you're doing all right. What was I doing? Oh, just kind of scoping the Wizards board here. So 24.5 real points for Bradley Beal here. 1.5 threes. And then Porzingis is at 23.5 points. All right. Nothing crazy. Let's see what the market is saying on Mr. Beal. Life with suck. Yeah, I love women. I definitely didn't mean like as a, like, it could have been any holiday, but it was just like, it's a random holiday that no one knew about yesterday. It feels like. I could be completely wrong, but yeah. But no, women should be celebrated every day. They're incredible. Beal. 24.5. Some places steamed under, some places steamed over. So just seems like it's an efficient line. How about fantasy? Do you think fantasy might be our lean here? 39.5 fantasy points. I have Beal right now at about 43, so slightly on the over. So I think everything's pretty appropriate. So I don't really find a drastic lean for a prop selection here, but I like this game quite a bit for DFS, and I also like let's see, Kuzma, Porzingis. Do we want to get into them? I think the price is on Kuzma, 7,500. Him and Porzingis, I don't know if they can coexist at these price points. Maybe it's a 2 of 3, but I feel like Bill's going to be the constant here. So kind of torn between what to do. On FanDuel, 10K for Porzingis is a lot, considering the options at the top of the board. Porzingis is a name that is outside, the top 15, the top 20 of fantasy point projections, and he is coming in as a top 10 price player. So on on FanDuel, I just don't see myself getting him much unless we had some rule out. But I don't think that's gonna happen, right? What's up, J. Cole? Jermaine Cole, International Men's Day. Stop it, J. Cole. When is White History Month, guys? Stupid. We just appreciate the women, bro. Just appreciate them. You can tell who's married and who's not married in the chat. just shut up. Oh man. So on the Hawks side, so Clint Capella, his minutes have been kind of at risk in the fourth quarter, right? I see in that Heat game, Capella, he played the entire fourth quarter in that Heat game. So that's valuable because in the couple games prior, we saw Onyeka Okongwu get some run in lieu of him. So I guess that's just a fluid situation based on the game flow and the game script. So kind of volatile in what to do with his minute projections, because it looks like it could be anything from 25 to like 32 plus, right? 34, 25, 25, 35, right? So a little bit of a 10-minute window is a wide range of outcomes for a $6,300 center. I don't mind the per minute production here, and I also don't mind the price point on DraftKings. So if you put them in your tier 3 and you're managing a portfolio lineups, I certainly wouldn't push back on you at all. And then Trae Young and DeJounte. So this game having such a high total, 236. Trae Young, can we get him at single-digit assists, and do we like him at single-digit assists? We have a 9 assists straight up. What's the market saying about that number? The other 10 months of the year. Protect women by using condoms sometimes. All right. This chat, this is the stream we get canceled, guys. This is the one. It's been a good run. Dude, they had it at 8.5 at some point, bro. I would have lost the bank account on that. What the heck? And then at 9, or that's just, yeah, okay. So 9.5 steamed under crazily, and the 8.5 steamed over. So the official line is just like 9, and that's what we got at PrizePicks. But I like Trae Young's assists anytime it's a single digit, so I don't mind taking that, especially if I want to get some of that Beal action. So let's see. Let's look at Trae. Trae's one of the league leaders in potential assists. He's got like a 40% assist rate on the season. I can't really make a case against it. The main case against Trae Young, anything right now, is probably like the recent burst of DeJounte Murray, you know? So on the season, Trae Young's 39% assist rate. DeJounte's, 42% assist rate. DeJounte's at 18%. So like, I guess if we isolate that to like, we just do March. Has that changed lately? Have we seen, with the new coach, have we seen difference in that? 35%? It goes down a little bit. So I don't know. I still kind of dig Trae Young's assist prop quite a bit. So we'll put it as like honorary. I'm not going to type it up in the notepad just yet. But for DFS, Trae Young, Bradley Beal, DeJounte, some smidge of Capella on DraftKings, and then Porzingis maybe on DK a little bit, Kuzma the same, but I probably don't want any overlap between Kuzma and Porzingis for the most part. And if Monte Morris played, I would wonder what that does for these guard minutes, but I'd probably still be kind of rock steady in being confident in Bradley Beal. Like I said, pretty important game for the Wizards to pick up here, for them to make this play-in, as the 10th, the Wizards, Raptors, and Hawks are all basically within one game of each other in the win column. If the Wizards can get a win over the Hawks, that would be pretty big. So meaningful basketball here. So I like the thought of Beal playing pretty deep minutes and having to be leaned on quite a bit. What up, Corey? Can you rank your favorite point guard, shooting guard, and FanDuel? 8-9K range is tough to sift through. Man, I just cranked open the textbooks, Corey, so don't have an answer just yet. But right off the rip, I do like Bradley Beal quite a bit, just based on the situation. All right, let's move on. Blazers at the Celtics. So that Wizards game is the only game at lock, 7 p.m., kind of an island game. So if you don't like much from this game, you don't have to set your rosters until 7:30. I, however, do like a decent chunk of this game, so I will have exposure here. But just something to keep in mind as the slate progresses. We do have several games at 7:30, and that's where a lot of meat and potatoes begin. So Blazers at the Celtics, project starting 5 for the Blazers: Damian Lillard, Cam Reddish, Matisse Thybulle, Jeremy Grant, Yusuf Nurkic, up against Marcus Smart, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Al Horford. We've got Robert Williams listed as out, and Anthony Simons still out, and Yusuf Nurkic questionable. Those are the more intriguing bits of news. Let's go check out the Nurkic blurb. Nurkic last appeared in a game on February 1, but he's close to a return. Could be back as soon as Wednesday against the Celtics. So we'll see if that can happen. The Celtics are 10-point home favorites here. So that's immediately going to take a lot of sting and hope out of like Lillard's price point. It's one of those, if the Blazers are competitive here, you feel like Lillard has a big part of it. Maybe Nurkic back vultures a little bit, but this should be a medium to low pace game, and it's a massively uphill battle against the Celtics at home. So I don't think I'm going to have a whole lot of interest in Lillard on the high end. I would assume maybe the matchup suppresses Lillard's ownership versus a normal slate. And we have seen, he's at, Jesus, 2% owned. All right. So, I mean, that's just like incredible opportunity at low ownership. But yeah, we have seen a couple of guys like Donovan Mitchell the other day against the Celtics. There's been a couple cases where one high usage guy will explode, but in this scenario, if the Celtics are going to be relatively healthy here, I feel like they can scheme Dame well enough from a DFS standpoint and a points per dollar at 11 plus K that I think we stifle his ceiling just enough for me to not be interested. And then if Nurkic is back, that's maybe a little bit off the top. So I'm probably going to be pretty pessimistic and pretty down on Blazers exposure. And even if Nurkic is back, I can't really expect big minutes out of him, being out for as long as he was out and in a tough matchup. I think Cam Reddish on DraftKings at 4,700, he's had a pretty good stretch of games in terms of paying off that price point, and he's dual position eligible. So I think for 5 spot, if you throw in a util on DraftKings, and big minutes have been there for him as well. Been stuff in the stat sheet. So maybe he'd be the one I'd be most likely to get to. 30 plus fantasy points in 3 straight games on DraftKings. All those matchups more positive than this Celtics matchup. So again, we could taper our expectations and expect historical Cam Reddish numbers, but he's probably the guy I'm most likely to get to. He's at 22.5 fantasy points again on PrizePicks. Wow. That's, I mean, I'll almost spit my drink last time I saw that. And again, I don't think it's a great matchup, but without Simons, the minutes have been there. I'm at 29. That just seems really low. All right. He'd have to muscle it. He would. I'm going to put that as a tier 3. Cam Reddish over 22.5 FPS. Just assuming that even in the game script that we're creating, where maybe Lillard has to pass a little bit more, just a little bit, and Reddish, I don't know, 22.5 just feels really low. On the Celtics side here, with everyone healthy in a 10-point spread, again, not going to be overly enamored or enthralled with committing high amounts of ownership, but Tatum spike game, Jaylen Brown spike game, always live, and don't mind either one of those guys in like a tier 3 wide range of outcomes, just covering your bases. The ownership would kind of lean how I accomplish that. Tatum is at 1 in 5 lineups. That's Jaylen Brown is at Single digit. Okay, so on FanDuel, or excuse me, on the DraftKings price point, I can get behind that. Tatum's coming in as like the fourth guy in raw projections, the highest guy at the cheapest, if that makes sense. So everyone above him is 11.5K or better. So I get it. Small forward, power forward, util, 4 spots. I get it. I can see how that ownership shakes out. And there's no Robert Williams. So, all right. I guess I would get to that. Is it tier 2 levels? In context of the slate, we're gonna have a ton of value later on. Maybe I would like a little bit better ownership number, but I'm fine. Yeah, I guess that's fine. All right, let's get caught up on chat. Bill Young mini stack. I like that, Andrew. Run them at each other. What's better, FanDuel or DraftKings tonight? Man, lately, so I used to like FanDuel more. I haven't really changed my stance on that, but I used to like FanDuel more because FanDuel had a lot more, I wouldn't say flexibility. I would say their pricing was softer. So my line, like I didn't have to play guys I didn't like, but they have really changed that lately, where they haven't had hardly any value and DraftKings has. So like if you are someone that's running minimal lineups and you just like to like everyone in your lineup, I'd probably say lately DraftKings is the answer. If you like a little bit more skill, you know, in your lineup construction and tight pricing, FanDuel's probably the way. Do you know the way? As far as tonight, like in a vacuum, I haven't really assessed pricing inequities, discrepancies, words. Pretend I said something smart there. What up, W German? What's up, Amazement? 4 out of 6 last night. Let's go. Dame needs to be traded. I don't think so. The thing about Dame is he's content with being there. The city loves him. So like you trade him in the sense that you're just a GM that wants nothing but a ring, sure. And that's okay if you are. But it seems like if you're a Blazers fan, you don't want to get rid of him because you love him. Lillard has, in the last 5 years, it feels like there's always Damian Lillard trade rumors, and he's always like, I don't want to leave. So, I don't know. Clint over fantasy on PrizePicks. Let's see what it is. Clint Capella is at 28.5 fantasy. I'm worried about his fourth quarter shakiness, so I probably wouldn't co-sign at least the full game. Maybe the first half prop for Capella is a little bit more live, 15.5 fantasy, and that's something he's been more. He had 27.6 in the first half against Jesus H. That'd probably be the one that I'd be more likely to gravitate towards. Matter of fact, I appreciate you bringing that up because I might just get behind that. So let's go Clint Capella first half over 15.5 FPS. Couple putbacks. I think the first half is what I like. But if you're into point chasing, his game last time was really solid. Really solid. Probably like unsustainably solid, right? What up, Cot? Couldn't Nurkic throw a wrench in all this? You mean like if Nurkic was in? I mean, the wrench would be a little bit less usage for Lillard. I maybe if you're thinking the Reddish for fantasy, maybe, but I think Reddish is pretty clear, and I don't expect Nurkic to play a ton of minutes. But yes, and Nurkic being active would make me really not want almost anything from the Blazers for DFS, except maybe a smidge of Reddish on DraftKings at 4,700. As a former Duke fan, I love to see his recent stretch of games for Reddish. Yeah, man, kind of crazy how he went from as big as he was in the prospects to like DNPing, right? Not even part of a rotation. He did win a tournament earlier this year. with the 0, but you know. What's up, Sirius Jones? Dude, my lip is like hurting today. I missed Gobert boards and Jackson boards by 1. Dang. Yeah, Dame definitely doesn't want out. He's like said that time and time again on Twitter, you know? What's up, Preston? How do you feel about Leonard and Barnes going under on points tonight? I haven't got to that game yet to assess it, but I guess like a fully healthy Clippers team certainly creates volatility for George, Kawhi, Westy. But I don't have a strong opinion on that. I guess I would say without a built opinion, I would more so just let the market create inspiration. So if that was a PrizePicks line question, Kawhi is at 25.5 points, and the market is showing Kawhi at 25.5 with some steam on the over in some spots. So looks like it's an appropriate line. So I don't have a strong lean right now. Side note, Capella, he was at 22.5 PRA, went up to 23, but now back down. What does it mean when props bump back and forth? It's just adjusting to the volume, the money that's coming in and out. Need a lock? Please, I'm a broke moron. Thank you in Jesus' name. Thomas. Clean over 6 first half points. I'll take the fantasy because of the block and rebound potential, but yeah, 6 is fine. It all kind of like, if he hits 6, he's probably on his way to 15 plus, right? Is there any games you were fade? I mean, I'm only in my second game, and this game looks pretty fadeable. Like if I had none of this game pre-flop, I don't think I would lose sleep as far as the process goes. But I do think in terms of ceiling, Tatum at 10.3K is pretty interesting to fill a forward spot. Line move probably means that people were playing at a strong lean towards one way. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times the lines are just reacting to the money that's coming in on them, right? More so the sharp money. But we've seen money go up and down. Or lines go up and down as the day progresses. It's an everyday thing. Like the other day, the Max Strus steam on the 3-point prop, and then he ended up starting. I was like, somebody knew, right? I don't know. Ryan says, when I started to play a couple years ago, I like FanDuel, but I prefer DraftKings now because they have lots of 20 maxes under $5 across all slates. You can get around 500 down, pretty soft contests nightly. I agree with that. But I guess I have a video on this channel about how the $1 is probably like the best contest out there that no one's playing. When moves back and forth, is a better idea to go with the first move, second move, or stay away. I mean, the last move is probably the most efficient. Let's see if I'm understanding the question. So to go with, so you're saying like, I don't know, if a line was 8.5 rebounds, and in the morning it got moved down to 7.5, and then an hour before lock it moves back up to 8.5. I'd probably go with the last move. But I mean, I guess there's different ways to paint that, because a lot of sharp money does come in early, but then a lot of sharp money does come in late. So I'd probably go with the last move. So if we're talking about like PrizePicks and just odds value, it's just a fluid situation. But the closest to the tip would probably be the line that's the most efficient for what the money's saying. I don't know if I'm explaining that well. I'm assuming all these, like, those questions are like PrizePicks related though. If you sports bet and you have access to multiple books, the lines will just teeter-totter all day in different spots based on the volume that individual book is getting. So some books will be looking like better value bets compared to others, which is what you guys should be doing. You should have like 4 or 5 books out there to kind of shop lines every day. I wish in Texas that would be a thing, but it's not. So instead we have to shop different lines from all of our partners like Thrive, Underdog, No House Advantage, and PrizePicks. Dallas Mavericks at the New Orleans Pelicans. Project starting 5 for the Mavericks. Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Josh Green, Christian Wood, Dwight Powell taking on CJ McCollum, Josh Richardson, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, Jonas Valanciunas. We got 234.5 total. 2.5 point spread in favor of the visiting Dallas Mavericks. Mavs, night 2 of a back-to-back. We've got Maxi Kleber down, Reggie Bullock doubtful. And that projected Christian Wood to the starting lineup. But I guess that's not a guarantee. But it's a good chance that happens, right? And if that happens at 4,900 on DraftKings, that looks pretty doggone good. Coming back with a 36 fantasy point projection. How's Wood's ownership? Oh, Wood's coming in as the number 2 owned player right now. So, yeah, looks like everyone's expecting that to happen. What about Wood fantasy points? What's that? We don't have Christian Wood fantasy points. I guess they're just waiting on a confirmed starting lineup. Meanwhile, Kyrie's at 27.5 points. Luka's at 32.5 points. Luka's at 7 assists. And Kyrie is at 6.5 assists. Anything that we like there? I think the assists are reaching at me. But you know me. Let's go to Dallas. Let's go Luka. Let's go Kyrie. Put them on the court together. Here, what up, Chester? Hope you're doing all right. Pretty split assist rate, so don't really have a sway one way or the other. But I guess in that same breath, the lower line between the two, I guess, would be the most intriguing. And I think it was Kyrie at 6.5. Well, Luka's at 7. So see what the market is saying about that. Control Elf. In the basement of a Chinese restaurant, bro. Looks like pretty fair odds there for Kyrie. DraftKings has a minus 125, Caesar 127 on the over, so a little bit of value if you like their lines, but nothing crazy. Luka moved, so he was at 6.5 and it got moved to the over. So I don't mind that. I guess with those guys, with how split that they can be, man, Christian Wood. All right. Christian Wood, I think we would all agree, if he did start, even if he didn't start, he's in for more minutes. He's way more offensively talented and probably a higher floor, I think, than Reggie Bullock in terms of making his shots. Bullock 0 for 1, 4 for 10, 5 for 12. Christian Wood is going to have typically a higher field goal percentage. You would think you wouldn't really want him launching for 3, but I guess that's his game. But I guess what I'm getting at is I like the assists more than anything for Luka and Kyrie, because they actually can spread the floor a little bit more here and not be so strapped and have to pick up all the responsibility if you throw a Christian Wood there. And then we saw Tim Hardaway have a decent burst yesterday. So a couple of things to do. We could also just see like Markieff Morris start. So I don't want, or Davis Bertans, because they do seem to be stuck on Wood being off the bench, but we'll see. That's going to be a fluid situation. And I could see Christian Wood being chalk and then not in the starting lineup, and I could see the field not adjusting. So I guess there's a lot of different things that could happen for this Dallas game. Expect it to be a lower pace game versus the average game on this slate. So maybe and it's a back-to-back for them, so maybe some modest output. But with that said, on the other side, the Pelicans, Brandon Ingram's been the guy that I've been gravitating towards the most. 8,300 on FanDuel, 8,400 on DK. We still have Alvarado down. We still have Larry Nance down. And, of course, life with Zion continues. And then J-Val's minutes, not quite as extreme as, like, Clint Capella, because I think we get to the 35-minute threshold a lot less than Clint Capella. but still a tight window that has a low floor when it comes to minutes. But his per minute production is really doggone good. What I think we should be cautious with in his game log here is some of these matchups require a big presence. I don't think this matchup does unless they do throw Wood in the starting lineup. And then some of these matchups are a really fast-paced, porous matchup like the Sacramento Kings. So I still have tapered expectations. And at 7K for J-Val, he would essentially need to drop 40 plus for me to feel like I'm missing out on a good deal. So I probably am not that enthralled with J-Val here. And I'm going to be sticking with Ingram and McCollum for DFS. And then let's put them on the court together and get some numbers. J-Val assist or fantasy worth the play on PrizePicks. Let's see what they got him at. Bro, I busted my lip the other day and it's like starting to scab. I have to like stop myself from picking at it. 29.5 fantasy points, or you said assists, 1.5 assists. Is that a thing? Oh my god. I mean, that is razor thin margins for the last, what they say, the last 5 bros. It's looking good. I have him at 38, so I have a pretty big window from my projection to theirs. At 29.5 fantasy points, I'm at 38, almost a 10-point difference. So I guess to be true to the projection, I would say, yeah, I think we can get into his fantasy score over. His fantasy score what? You didn't say over. But I will say that I don't have the warmer fuzzies. What were we doing? We were putting McCollum and Ingram on the court. It's just since January. DeJounte Murray over 1.5 3 market value seems like solid value. All right, we'll look at that. Good call out, chat. If you guys got nuggets like that, share it, man. Don't hold that fire. Don't be stingy. Ingram leads the group. I guess J-Val leads the group in points per minute fantasy wise, but his volatility in minutes still exists. But no Larry Nance still. Ingram 32% usage. The assist rate pretty split. There's a 10% assist rate for J-Val. It's kind of crazy since it's only been like 2. And J-Val's at 23.8% of the team's total rebound opportunities since February 1 when he's on the court with McCollum and Ingram. That's pretty wild. 10.5 rebounds is his line. That's pretty wild. It started talking me into his fantasy score since I'm so marked on the over. What's the DVP? Dallas in the bottom, but I think that's correlated with their pace being so low. But I expect this to be a pace down game, so I don't know. I'm not enamored, overly enamored, but that is a big discrepancy for my projection, and those numbers are looking pretty doggone good. So maybe you can sell me on J-Val fantasy over. Maybe. Does he have any like quirks about his minute rotation? Oh man, my nose is burning. I felt like I had to sneeze. Ever have that feeling and then you don't sneeze and then you're just like, angry? Let's see, J-Val. Guess he was out that game. Pete Rose. Okay, buddy. Relax. Somebody made an account to roleplay as Pete Rose. I'm not even mad. 27th. Am I sleeping on what his minutes could be? Didn't close out that game because Jackson Hayes did, but I guess there was no Larry Nance as well. This wasn't where he got injured, was it? Maybe I'm sleeping on J-Val's minutes. Maybe 30 is just right there, and he's gonna be a point per minute plus. All right, we're gonna nominate J-Val's fantasy. Let's put it as a tier 3 since it took us a while to get there, but over 29 FPS. Couple tier 3s, all fantasy point related so far. I'm fine with it though. BI over 35.5 PRA. Let's see. That pollen is different, man. Yes, but also being a fat single guy that does nothing but watch sports, man. My house could probably use a dusting. I always want to put an ad on Facebook Marketplace for someone to come clean. But then I'm like, dude, that's kind of lazy. And then I'm like, dude, you're kind of lazy. And then anytime I do put something on Marketplace, it's just like all Indian scammers messaging me. What was I looking at? Ingram, right? 36.5 is the line, and you have them at 35. So I would say yes, take that, because at 36.5, there's even steam on the over at that line. Is that offered at PrizePicks right now? 35. That's odds value, big time. That's a good call out. Who's Corey? Because that line's at 37.5 on FanDuel. That's a massive discrepancy, actually. In some spots where it could be at, like, FanDuel's at 37. So that's not going to be at 35 for very long. So, if you're into odds value, Ingram over 35.5 is something that's incredibly good value. Right? Like, I want to type that up, but I don't think by the time this stream's over, it's probably not going to be 35.5. Pete Rose made an account to role play as Pete Rose. Hey, man. I like listening to Pete Rose talk. I watched a short, or like a video not too long ago. It was a channel that they open up baseball cards, like old baseball packs with players. And Pete Rose opened up one, and he just had a fun story for everyone. And I was like, I could listen to that all day. I don't know who this guy is. It should have bumped already. Yeah, it should have, right? I guess we'll refresh. Need a maid too for some spring cleaning. No. The extra dots in that sentence make me think some sus stuff. Ingram is still at 35.5. So that's not gonna be there for long. And I refreshed it, so it's still alive. Get nervous when the good one don't bump. I mean, it will bump. I don't know why they're slow in the draw for that. But it will. It just you can't think with like that. You just have to think in terms of market value. And if you're getting almost almost a 2 PRA difference from some books, that's just value. It's a plus EV bet. And that's just the way you have to think about it. Get numb to the results and understand that the process is profitable. I know that's easier said than done, but it's facts. 130 you guys, 30 likes, man. We can do better. Smash that thumbs up if you're lurking. If you haven't hit the sub button, man, check out that sub button, cause we are 9 subs away from 8,500, halfway to 9K. And man, we mentioned it on Twitter yesterday. Just you guys have been killing these streams in the last month, averaging 1.7K views a stream. And sometimes we're peaking at 300 plus live viewers concurrently. So that means a lot. I'm humbled. I don't take it for granted. I appreciate it. So as this channel grows, that means you guys are growing, and I appreciate that. Check out Morris points over Mobley. Mobley points or rebounds over. Yeah, let's do that. We'll get to that game. Cavs at the Heat. Yikes. Project starting five for the Cavs. Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Isaac Okoro, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen taking on Gabe Vincent, Tyler Hero, Jimmy G, buckets, Kevin Love, maybe, Bam Adebayo. We got 214.5 total, 2-point spread in favor of the visiting Cleveland Cavaliers. Kevin Love, let's have a tag on him. Saw some news come out about him as well, all right? Or was it just that he's probable? That was the news? All right, I'll upgrade it to probable. Good. But that doesn't mean a ton. I mean, it does mean a ton, but it also, when he was playing, he was only getting like mid or low 20s in minutes as a ceiling. But when he's on the court, I think it does tangibly take away some rebound sting from maybe Adebayo. But let's start on the Cavs side, since YZ Ocean asked about Evan Mobley. So first of all, I want to point out that this game is nasty. We look at the team metrics chart in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet. The Cavs and the Heat are two of the bottom three teams in pace, which means we shouldn't expect a lot of implied possessions, which means versus the average game, fewer opportunities to accrue fantasy points. And then looking at another stat that I think is pretty important for Mobley and for Mobley, looking at points in the paint allowed. The Cavs and the Heat are two of the best three teams at restricting points in the paint, and that's notable for a guy like Mobley. Now, Mobley can shoot mid and long range, so it's not the end-all be-all. 4 threes in that last game, but more of his shots are going to be around the rim, right? So the question was points or rebounds over. So if you're just stuck on betting something for Evan Mobley, would it be 15.5 points or 9 rebounds? Man, I personally don't think I would end up with tickets with Evan Mobley today. And it's not necessarily or at least not on overs. It's just more about how bad this matchup and pace and everything is. I mean, just a 214 total. And it's easy to get high on Mobley because this last couple matchups have been pretty decent. I guess rebounds if I had to choose between the two. But the last Boston game, remember, that was Mike Muscala and Blake Griffin. Okay, so that's not the same metrics to live off of. Detroit absolutely stinks. So if I had to choose between them, I would probably go rebounds, but I don't think I would have any conviction behind that. But let's see what the market says at 15.5 points. Yeah, Love's probable. Mobley has moved. He's moved to 16.5, or no. Maybe he was 16.5 and it was moved down to 15.5. Maybe. Either way, it looks like it's a mostly efficient line. I guess versus Caesar, it's minus 139. Remember, what we're looking for is like better or worse than 118, right? For PrizePicks, and it seems pretty efficient. So that's on the points. On the rebounds for Mobley, I took Allen under PRA. Has been getting a lot of looks. Yeah, that's fair. And this matchup was very fair. Mobley 8.5, 9.5. So 8.5. All right. Oh, it's already moved to 9. I guess 9 would be pushy. So again, if you were stuck on taking something for Mobley, just research wise, I guess the rebounds and market value wise, kind of is where I would lean, but I'm not really that convicted. All right, now let's look at the Heat side. Bam Adebayo PRA 30.5. Was he at 35.5 like when Kevin Love first got signed, or am I tripping? So 35. I still kind of want to say that I lean the under here, but let's look at Adebayo with Kevin Love. Actually, let's just look at Adebayo. Let's go Adebayo on and then Love off since February 1. Adebayo's 15% of the team's total rebound opportunities with a 25% usage rate. And then put Love on the court. Is that right? Yeah, it's gone down to 13%, and then Kevin Love's at 17%. So a little bit of a nick to Adebayo. So I'm kind of curious in the under. Put Kevin Love out there to get a few more rebounds. You put him in a really bad matchup against the Twin Towers, Mobley and Jared Allen. Very low total. Is under 30.5 PRA for Bam Adebayo. An EV bet. Dang, this line was 31.5 at one point. Or has it moved to 31.5? Market's kind of split there. All right. I'll leave Vololufenone at 30.5. I do think 35.5 is what his average line was before Kevin Love. So I'm just gonna leave it alone. And then against the Heat, we always talk about it. 3-point shooters, they funnel opponents to shoot 43% of their shots behind the arc. So do the Cavs have 3-point shooters we can lean on? 9.4 3-point attempts per game for Donovan Mitchell would lead them. Do we have a 2.5 prop for Donovan? No, he's at 3.5. That's probably a little too high. I don't really like to get to the 3.5 much, but the matchup is one that squeezes out 3-point shooting. Just out of curiosity, let's see if there's steam on that. But I usually like to stick at the 2.5s. Yeah, it's pretty linear in odds value, so no reason to be extra convicted on that. Garland at 6.1. That's about it. All right, I'll leave it be. This game's pretty ugly overall from a fantasy upside standpoint. Yeah, there's some narrative behind Kevin Love here, and Love's pretty affordable on both sides, under 5K. So I put him at 20 minutes. I guess it's not impossible for him to play like 25 minutes and be a point per minute and serve a purpose. So I wouldn't push back if you had him in your lineup. But overall, I'm pretty unenthusiastic about the upside of this game. So anything I do get to from this game would be tier 3, and probably wouldn't get to more than 2 players from a team in a lineup. Maybe even 1, but probably 2. You know, Garland 3 is a prop. What is that at? 2.5. I mean, he is second on the team in 3-point attempts per game. 6.1. He's averaging 3 less per game than Donovan. But this matchup does create it. 2 games against the Heat, he's averaging 6 for 14, so 3 a game. So the volume was definitely there. Let me look at the shot chart. What up, Ryan? Hope you're doing all right. What's up, King of all trades? Yeah. Two and 4, so kind of middling there. Both of those games, though, 28 and 31 minutes, so maybe we're leaving 5 minutes on the board, you know? Let's see what the market says. Garland. little steam on the over. A lot of steam on the over on FanDuel, minus 142. DraftKings, minus 140. So just in the interest of odds value, Garland's 2.5 points or 2.5 3-pointers in the 5 flex for PrizePicks. That's the minus 118. So just in shopping odds value, you're getting a deal. 22, 24 cents of a deal versus FanDuel and DraftKings. So I think that's clickable, Corey. Again, like I said, EV bet, you can't overthink it. So in the interest of expected value, Darius Garland over 2.5 threes makes a lot of sense. All right, yeah. Cott says there's not a lot of backing here, but Plumlee's under 2.5 free throws seem good. Backup center, he switched to shooting with less dominant hand. All right. And he had a stretch there where Zubac was out, so maybe that switches up. It's mainly my basement. Maybe they'll have a garage sale. Oh, for dust. Yeah, no, I'm in a little box, man. But I've been living in this box for like maybe 2.5 years. And like, I don't think I've ever dusted the. You don't understand how the ceiling fans. I don't think I've ever turned these things off. How the heck does dust accumulate on a spinning chopper? I don't understand. How am I alive? Bulls at the Nuggets. Project 75 for the Bulls. Patrick Beverly, Alex Caruso, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic taking on Jamal Murray, KCP, MPJ, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. We got a 225.5 total. 9-point spread in favor of the home team, Denver Nuggets. MPJ has a Q tag on him, Cancard as well. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of that. And then kind of a lopsided spread. MPJ's probable, Cancard's questionable. All right, cool. J-Val first half just bumped. Okay. See? We're sharp, bro. So in the interest of raw points, looking at the full slate here, Jokic is third. Third, behind Lillard. I'm not enthralled with Lillard's matchup, but I guess with Jokic we can push back the maybe 9-point spread here, so they kind of offset. But I think I'm still more likely to pick Jokic tonight than Lillard. We talked about Jokic's home road splits as well, averaging 10 more fantasy points at home this season in 26 road games and 31 home games, 63 fantasy points at home. Their home road splits as a team is also kind of similar with that thought process, so I don't mind favoring Jokic over Lillard. And then I think some value today is going to be in the guard and forward spot anyway, so we could pay up for center if we're not paying up for Lillard, and I'd rather pay up for center here. So give me some Jokic. Fully healthy Nuggets otherwise kind of makes them all not that warm and fuzzy, at least on FanDuel. I guess there's still a method to getting to Jamal Murray. I know the Bulls are another one of those funnel defenses that we see teams shoot a lot of threes against. Do we have somebody on the Nuggets that would feel great about taking a stance on? MPJ leads the team in 3-point attempts per game. Second is Jamal Murray. MPJ is shooting over 40%. So, like, I guess if there was an MPJ 2.5 3-point prop, it might be worth looking at. There is not. So I'll probably leave it alone. Joker hasn't been aggressive. Hasn't he got a triple-double in his last couple games? You mean just like scoring? I don't think you'll see like aggressive scoring when his team is mostly healthy. But yeah, the shot volume certainly come down a little bit. Toronto's a little bit lankier defensively. They have some bodies. Houston was a 20-point blowout, whatever. Memphis, that was a very low-scoring game. So, I don't know. I think his shot volume will always fluctuate But I think everything else he offers is crazy. Let's see. Do we want anything on Jokic today? I don't think I want to bet his points, or his fantasy points, but what about assists? 10 assists. They basically price him for a triple-double. Isn't that crazy? It's pretty wild. Yeah, I don't want to top shelf shop. I like him a lot for fantasy, that's for sure. On the Bulls side, so Patrick Beverley has been playing minutes, right? And I think that's something that we talked about when he got traded. He wanted to still play minutes. 32, 29, 33 minutes. So the initial projections when I was playing with Beverly and Dosunmu and Caruso and Kobe White, it was like I was giving them all 22 minutes, but Beverly's been the guy that gets the bulk of those minutes. So every now and then I could see him spilling into a solid game on DraftKings at 4,100. Not consistently enthralled, but every now and then, like saw that 43 against Detroit. Now Detroit's one of the best matchups you could ask for. Is there anything that we can lean on for Beverly? Probably not. Do we get like rebounds, assists, anything? I'm probably stretching here. Free throws? No, thank you. All right, we'll leave that alone. But for DraftKings, I just at least want to mention that I might be able to get there for him. And then Levine, DeRozan, Vucevic, all appropriately priced. One, I guess, benefit for this matchup is Denver does allow a decent chunk of points in the paint. Now, Vuce can score from anywhere, but maybe a spot where if they're keeping this game close, or even for DeRozan as well, a spot to lean on him a little bit more. Man, 0 for 5 from 3 against Detroit the other day. 10 shot attempts for Vooch against the Pacers. That's rough. But all these guys, I think, for fantasy, could pay off their price points. I probably do a 2 of 3 rule, maybe a 1 of 3, probably a 2 of 3 on DraftKings. Even on FanDuel, they all could kind of get there. You could kind of see coexistence. If you want ceiling, though, from all three, likely not going to happen. So that's why I would probably set the roll for 2 or 3 just to try and get ceiling and decent game. And the other guy's the odd man out. Who else scores in the paint the most from them? DeRozan scores. It's pretty even. Under half a three-pointer for Jokic. That's offered? Wow. Half a 3 is offered. That's it. That's an annoying sweat, huh? And there's heavy juice on the under. So that's a good call, Corey. Nikola Jokic under half a three-pointer. That's a really... I'm actually kind of surprised that they offer that. But I know a lot of people, that's kind of like a sucker bet. Everyone's, oh, he just has to hit 1-3, bro. And he just kind of lures them in, right? This point prop came down 6 points from last game. Oh, Jokic. Yeah, what up, Kevin? DeRozan, that mid-range game is upside down, especially if this game's close. Yeah, I agree. What else we got? Thunder at the Suns. Yikes. Hey, chat, by the way, today, rundfs.com. The promo code, coupon code, WED38. WED as in Wednesday, 38 as in today's date. Will get you 20% off any pass at rundfs.com. So you should definitely take advantage of that. Anytime we get 20% off, I think you get more bang for your buck in the bulk packages. The 20% is going to, for like the All-Star to All-Star, or get to the All-Star break for baseball. WED38. It's going to make $299 to $239. and then it's going to take 100 off of the year pass. So certainly would recommend that, and that is good for today only as a thank you for hopefully reaching 8,500. Where are we at on that count? 8491 goes to 93. So we're 7 subscribers away from 8,500. So that's cool. Thunder projected starting 5: Josh Giddey, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, up against Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Josh Okogie, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Ayton. 233.5 total, 13.5 point spread in favor of the Phoenix Suns. SGA out. Jalen Williams, the other one, out, right? So this is an ugly looking Thunder team. Let's see if we can. Let's see. Thunder offensive rating without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander this season. What's up, Dez? Hope you're doing all right. On a break, I respect that. 119.1 offensive rating? No way. That can't be. What? No, that's not. That would literally be like the best in basketball. What is that? Huh? That's broken. They average 120 points per game without SCA? Bruh. How? Who would have played those games? Giddey? I don't even know. Let's see. Okay, Thunder. I don't even know how to look this up, bro. That's crazy. Josh Giddey. DKP by game log without, say, Gilgeous-Alexander last 10 games. What's up, CW? Who does better tonight, Van Vliet or Siakam? Westbrook plays defense like a bullfighter against opposing point guards, but Siakam's pretty good matchup too. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. Those two are just in any matchup are pretty volatile. Probably expect 38 minutes. I guess I would say Van Vliet, but there's no conviction at all in that. All right, so recent matchups without SGA, and things are starting to make sense. The Utah Jazz, the Lakers, the Kings, Phoenix. How does Phoenix game go? Yeah, Thunder have pieces. So they lost by 9. And that was a similar situation. No Jalen Williams, though, and he represents 20 plus. Isaiah Joe had 20. Oh, yeah. Phoenix had no KD. For DFS, we're looking at a lot of ownership out of the Thunder. Josh Giddey, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, Usman Zhang. Those are 4 of the top 6 projected owned players tonight. That's fun. That's annoying. That is really annoying. All right. So from a points per dollar standpoint, though, I get it. The prices on Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, mentioned Jang, Dario Saric. Sure. Giddey's kind of the tough one. Like, it makes sense. He does so much without SGA. But on a back-to-back against a strong Phoenix team, just kind of wonder. And we looked at that last game. He had 7, 4, and 5 in 24 minutes, 3 for 14 shooting. Giddey's supposed to be in 4 out of every 10 lineups. That's a question. He's projecting really well though. I mean, it just breaks the charts on usage, so I get it. Last 10 games without SGA, we saw 50. Several really usable games. If we get that 24-point game at 40%, that'll tank your lineup 100%. Really, anything under 40 would kind of tank your lineup at that ownership probably in terms of winning first place. And in that last game against Phoenix, in a similar scenario, had less than 20 fantasy points. I don't know what to make of that. I think that's just we're gonna have to cover our bases in mass multi-entry. I don't really want to target Thunder props unless it's like completely broken pricing. Like I don't think Giddey's gonna be broken, but what about Oklahoma? Isaiah Joe's at 15.5 points. I mean, that might be interesting with no Jalen Williams and no SGA. So maybe guys like that become more appealing. This is stupid. I'm not having fun right now. I hate this. Is there sample size to this? Like what am I even searching right now? Isaiah Joe has a 21% usage rate. I hate this. What's the market saying on Isaiah Joe? Fudge. What? They should slaughter, yeah. They should. Hey man, sometimes teams start underestimating who's on the court against them. They stay in the game longer. Or close enough, long enough, right? Under 15.5 has steam. Isaiah Joe doesn't have lines offered at some places, bro. So in terms of odds value, remember 118's the mark. They're getting down to 130, 125 on DraftKings, 129 on Caesar. So under. Dear God, what do they got Josh Giddey at? What's up, Humboldt? Broke my arm last week. Have made it a new routine to write up estimates and watch your show daily. Man, I appreciate that. Write up estimates for what? Are you like insurance or something? Alright, so there's... What's PrizePicks at? Is that 33 or 34 for Giddey? 33.5. So again, in the interest of odds value, letting the money do the thinking for us. Dude, there was even some spots at 32.5 still, but 33.5 is the fair market line. At BetMGM, there's steam to 130 on the over, 125 at DraftKings, FanDuel's at 106. Market's all over the place too. But yeah, okay. HVAC, okay. There's good money in that. My brother-in-law has a HVAC license. I think my mom's old man has that too. It's pretty cool, dude. I'm sorry he broke your arm. Hopefully it won't take too long till you're back out there, or that if it's not that big of a break, you still operate pretty normally. Check out the OKC game from January 3rd. Similar situation. OKC went weird. Beat Boston by like 30 without starters. Yeah, we've seen that a few times this year where just undermanned team. They're too dumb to know they're supposed to suck, right? And they go out there and they surprise. And then like other teams just play down to them. So like it's not impossible. I definitely am not trying to... God dang. And this is probably another reason why their offensive rating is 119 without SGA. It's such a broken stat right now. And yeah, Boston was essentially fully healthy. So, yeah, that was huge. Catalyst for that. Jalen Williams again. He's not playing tonight. Kenrich Williams, Lou Dort, Josh Giddey. Isaiah Joe at 21 points off the bench, and Trey Mann as well. Looks like Isaiah Joe scores in these situations. So I don't know. I get that this team's on his under, but with no Jalen Williams and no SGA, and Giddey is a guy that can facilitate, it feels like Isaiah Joe has a chance to put up 20 points. So I'm not even that, like, yeah, I don't know. That's going to be a headache in DFS. It is. We do anything with the Suns? Anything? 13.5 point spread. Might expect the lower side on some minute projections. Devin Booker's been killing it. But a guy like Chris Paul probably take an ice bath early. Booker's been essentially off his minute restriction. I mean, absolutely killing it. 30 plus real points, 3 straight games. 35 plus real points, 3 straight games. But a couple of like competitive games. But then, I don't know, 20-point game against Chicago. What's his point prop? 29.5? What's a guess? It's at 26.5. That's lower than the guess. His assist is kind of low too. 42.5 fantasy points. So I'm at 46. So not that big of a gap. Yeah, I don't know. I probably max the Suns at 1. Go from there, possibly. No. Paul puts in a masterpiece. Little revenge game for Chris Paul. I've been on Chris Paul lately for assists because of all the talent that's around him. But I'm also just kind of worried about the spread here. And Devin Booker's been just taking over. 7, 10, 11, 7. So he's been kind of all over the road as well. I'm just kind of probably going to leave the Suns alone for prop betting. And then for DFS, probably max a 1 in case one guy just goes nuclear over the alternatives. All right. Chat. You guys want to hit that thumbs up for me, man? That would be great. Man, we are doom and doom. We only got 1 game left. Holy cow. Probably played Dre and everyone. Let's see. All right. Oh, JRE. I almost said Dre. Jeremiah. Yeah, their minute rotation can get really bad. Like, there could be a lot of guys that play 18 and 22 minutes. It just seems so landmine filled for DFS. But it's just like, man, how do you not take some chances? But, man, these ownerships are wild. Main event tonight. Raptors and the Clippers. Project 75 for the Raptors. Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, Jakob Poeltl. Am I not Poeltl enough for the Poeltl Club? Taking on Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, Ivica Zubac. 230 total, 2.5 points spread in favor of the Clippers. Basically clean sheets when it comes to injury reports. And this game is chilling. An hour after the 2 9 p.m. games, and of course way after the several games in the first 30 minutes of the slate. So if we do like the Raptors, I think it's fair to pick on this Clippers, this incarnation of the Clippers team. Feels like their defense has been really, really bad since a certain trade. I'm not going to say it. But let's see if we can quantify that. Let's see. Clippers defensive rating last 10 games. 121.6 defensive rating in their last 10 games. To put that into a bigger perspective, the worst defensive rating in basketball right now is the Spurs at 119.6. So if that were to hold up, and I think that game where they gave up 170 or whatever, certainly is a big part of it. But these games for the Clippers have just been kind of shooting out. Clippers scores. The Pirtle Club. So Grizzlies 129, Kings 128, Warriors 1. Yeah, this game might do a lot, but it still should be based on per 100 possessions anyway. So their defense is attackable. And if you're going to get a Raptors team that might throw you several guys that are 35 to 38 minutes, I think it's fair to get into some guys like Fred VanVleet. And we've seen some spike games from VanVleet lately, especially in the like assist department. 14, 9, 8, 9, 15 assists. Do we get single digit prop for VanVleet here? VanVleet. 8 assists. That's pretty beefy. That's pretty beefy. Let's see. Control VanVleet. It got moved from 7.5, so makes sense. I think with the Raptors though, considering the matchup and considering how like evenly distributed it feels like their usage rates can get, if I want to target them on PrizePicks, probably gonna go the route of fantasy points. And we're working with 40. Yikes. I have VanVleet at 42, so that's efficient. Pirtle is at 34.5. I have him at 35. That's really efficient. And then Siakam's the other one, 39.5, and I have Siakam at 47. So that's my biggest gap, is Siakam fantasy points. Okay. Clippers. All right, let's run the Clippers usage check with Westbrook on, along with Kawhi and PG. And with Westbrook, I'm kind of thinking assist. I'm also kind of worried about the fourth quarter for him. We've seen him get benched. But Westbrook has a 30% assist rate. Paul George is at 25%. Not a ton of minutes here, but it is what we have to go on. So, what's Westbrook at? He's got 7 assists. God dang, that's so low. I'm just worried about that fourth quarter, man. Feels like in a tight game down the stretch, we've seen Westbrook kind of get in a doghouse. And a couple of these games are without one or the other, right? I guess they all played here. Westbrook played the whole fourth quarter. That's encouraging. I guess I would lean the over, but not overly convicted. Westbrook. I got steamed up from 6.5. All right. I'd jump on some of these lines earlier, huh? From a DFS standpoint, you can give me Westbrook, Paul George, Kawhi. I'd probably stifle 1 of 3, maybe 2 of 3 if we buy into the potential blowouts. Not blowouts, the potential shootout. Maybe 2 of 3. And then on the Raptor side, probably the same thing. So maybe 2v2s work out if this game does go crazy. Zubac. Somebody mentioned Mason Plumlee earlier. I forget what the prop was. It was 7.5 this morning. So free throws is at 2.5. Was that what somebody brought up? Free throws? He was shooting with his non-dominant hand, and now Zubac is back. I don't know how that Raptors free throw defense is, bro. That's a joke. All right, I can see it. I don't really have an opinion, though. Yeah, no. Chat, anybody looking for a baseball season-long league to join? We got some spots left. Looking to fill it up. If you guys want to play some baseball with us, $100 entry, $500 the first, $300 the second, $200 third. We're gonna stream the draft on this channel on Monday March 27th after NBA lock. Got a couple spots left, so if you guys want to get in on that, first come, first serve, first pay, first serve. Hit me up on Twitter or on Discord. Get into that. We'd love to play. It would be nice to play some baseball with you guys. Let's get caught up on chat. Absolute. Last time I actually know where you got Pirtle enough for the Pirtle Club. Wow. Wow. Master of Disguise, baby. Plumlee's the GOAT. Garland over 2.5 threes is a really nice pick. Yeah, it's probably not going to be there for long, though. It's still there, but it's heavily juiced. So this is what we wrote down so far. I put them all tier 3, but Reddish fantasy, Capella first half over 15.5 fantasy, J-Val over 29.5 fantasy. Somebody told me that's already been bumped. And then Jokic under half-foot three-pointer. And then I guess Darius Garland, if that's going to stay there, over 2.5 threes. Because the market, it's kind of tamed off a little bit. I'll take it back off the list for now. It's kind of tapered off a little bit. Hit that Flavor Flav. I don't think I can do a Flavor Flav. Doc Rivers. I can do the Doc Rivers voice. And the Robert De Niro face. Huh? Yo. Hit that thumbs up. Huh? No, not me. You. I can't really do the voice, but I can do the face. Capella and Jovel are bumped line already. Dang. How many teams in the baseball league? 10, Jake. 10. So I like 10 because then everyone's team has some fun on it. And I didn't know if we could fill a 12. J-Val rebound's going to bump to 11. Yeah, I started talking myself. Like, I was slow on J-Val at first, but then I started looking more and more into it, and I kind of expected him to be 30, 32 minutes here. So the line that I was most likely gravitating towards, the fact that he's like a 1.1 fantasy point per minute. So if I do push him to 32 minutes, he should clear his 29.5 fantasy points. So that's the line I'm looking at the most. Wow. We are done. We finished real fast. So I guess if you guys, I'm not in a rush to get out of here. If you guys got questions, comments, concerns, some picks you want to throw them at me, and we'll try and chop them up. But otherwise, I'm not gonna filibuster this. But we were pretty fast with it today, though. Category league, yeah, it's 10 categories. I forget what it is. I guess I can go look at it. Let me see. It's 10 categories. I'm pretty sure it is. Let me put this on the other screen just in case it links the invite link. League home. Alright, here it is. League is not full, so scoreboard. 5 free throws for Ingram. I can get down with that. Oh, there it is right there. So the categories we're gonna run. And I also changed it to where it's just infielders instead of like first base, or you know what I mean. Runs, home runs, RBIs, stolen base, average, and then strikeouts, wins. I might change that. I might change win. We'll take a vote. I'm willing to change the categories if the league agrees on it. You know, saves, yard, whip. So that's the categories for now. But we can change these if everyone wants to have something added or removed. Wins is kind of shaky to me, but it is what it is. What up, Vic? You hold on to your tag team belt? Yeah, I did. It's in the living room, so I can't show it right now, but I promise I still have it. But I didn't. That was on. That was on February 19th. Had an incident over the weekend. where it wasn't a tag match. I actually have a match on the 26th, but it's a singles match, not a tag match. Best 8 to 9K guard on FanDuel single entry tournament. Can you rank a few? All right, sure, no problem. So let's go FanDuel. Shooting guard, shooting guard, shooting guard. Point guard. Boom. 8 to 9K. I think Josh Giddey's destined to be the highest owned. I like Bradley Beal a lot. And I know a lot of you guys might have missed the start of this show. This Wizards game tonight is pretty important, for as important as a March basketball game can get. They are one game behind the Hawks in the win column. So when you think about the play-in and you think about how Beal's been playing deep minutes lately, this game matters. And Bradley Beal is 8,600, or not 8,600, yeah, 8,600 on FanDuel. So if you're asking who's some of my favorite guys, I think Bradley Beal has a lot of upside at that price point because he's been playing a lot of deep minutes in borderline must-win basketball. Obviously, it's not like win or go home, but this game matters for the standings. So I do like Bradley Beal quite a bit tonight. And then Giddey, but he's going to be chalky. And I think Bill also had decent ownership, or decently low ownership, at least on DraftKings. Van Vliet's fun because he's 8,200, 38 minutes against that Westbrook defense. So I can get behind that. Those are really the two that stand out the most. I don't mind Westbrook either. Yeah. You have good chalk, bad chalk opinions. So I think there's going to be landmines in the Thunder chalk, but not all of them. So we might play around with grouping max 2, maybe max 3. So right now we're looking at Giddey, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, Zhang. Aaron Wiggins feels kind of flaky. I don't know, I just can't see all 4 of those guys being good plays. So I probably try to regulate groups on Fantasy Cruncher to prevent. I probably max 2 just to meet in the middle, right? Cash out, man. I actually don't have cash out. I do PayPal. Kevin Love props. You like that? What's your best high and low value? For DraftKings, if you don't have PayPal, I probably have somebody that can be the middleman. Unfortunately, Wiggins, Jalen Williams, Christian Wood, Kendrick. Yikes! This is ugly. Value is very ugly in terms of names and consistency. Christian Wood might be. If we're talking about bad chalk, I would say that Christian Wood's not a guarantee to start. Right now, we're all projecting him to start, but they've been kind of showing a trend or a commitment this year to leave him off the bench. So, like, if a Markieff Morris drew a start or a Davis Bertans, I wouldn't be stunned. So maybe the field doesn't adjust to Christian Wood not starting if he were to not start. You know what I'm saying? Now, he could just start straight up, and none of this makes sense. But if you're just talking about good and bad chalk, his ownership is top 2 on the slate right now as well. So, DeLon Wright or Derek White. If Monte Morris is out, probably DeLon Wright. Not worried about DeAndre Hunter being Beal. Dude's a tough matchup. He has a tough matchup, but Beal has shown historically that he can be matchup proof. And then I don't worry about individual defense too much these days. You can get around a defender pretty easily. screens and whatnot, and they still have Kuzma, Porzingis to worry about. Josh Giddey assist over. Man, something is unsettling about that Thunder situation. Yeah, no, I mean, and the Jason Kidd thing matters too. And I like his per minute potential for DFS, but at last ownership look, he was the number 2 highest owned player. So just thinking in game theory from a DFS standpoint, he does have some volatility since he's not guaranteed to start, you know. What's the question? Giddey assist. Giddey assist is 7.5, and the market is just kind of all over the place. So I don't have a strong opinion on that, unfortunately. I have a Love Wood combo tonight. Hey man, German, we played a couple years ago. We were into Gay Cousins Love. You know, Rudy Gay, DeMarcus Cousins, Kevin Love. What do you guys? Relax. Morris is in for Washington. Okay, so if Monte Morris is in, wait, is that news dropping right now? Let's see. Let's get caught up here. Rape charges dismissed against pro basketball trainer Rob McClanahan. Well, that's good for him, huh? Police has closed an investigation into Grizzlies star John Morant. No charge of crime. There was not enough evidence. All right, cool. Monte Morris available. All right, so Monte Morris in. So that would take the steam off of DeLon Wright. It does add a little bit of, hey, is Bill still going to play 38 minutes? But again, because this game is so important, I think he unloads. So I guess in that 1v1, White versus DeLon Wright, I probably lean White then. Did you touch on Jay Holiday with Reggie doubtful? So that's part of the Christian Wood thing. Travis, really don't know what they're gonna do per se. Seinfeld, man, I haven't watched Seinfeld like that. Like, I've obviously seen some episodes. I don't know. I honestly don't know if I've watched a full episode of Seinfeld ever. But I've definitely seen bits and pieces. Justin Holiday, 30 minutes last game. Reggie Bullock. I guess Justin Holiday was I wouldn't say immediate benefactor, but he was a benefactor. What they close out with? Luka, Kyrie, Holiday, Hardaway, and Claybon, and Claybon's not here. So again, really have no idea what they're gonna do. But is Justin Holiday a play? I wouldn't want to. 27 fantasy points against Utah. Utah is such a good matchup. Holiday is usually not a great point per minute player historically. What Celtics card you got higher projected? White, Brogdon, or Smart? So projections are fluid. I'm gonna update them several times between now and lock, but I have White at 24.5 fantasy, Smart 32.5, Brogdon 32. So Smart and Brogdon splitting hairs. And I guess you can make the case in a 10-point spread with Brogdon having this 6th man of the year race. If this game lives up to a spread, could be a Brogdon stat pad game. Here are Mets fans on Seinfeld. Uh-oh. I know there's a Derek Jeter episode that I see clips of quite a bit. Jeremy Grant under 19.5 points under. It is a tougher matchup. Yeah, Celtics are one of the best defensive matchups. Their front court defense really, really stout. Without Robert Williams, it's not as locked down, but it's still a tough matchup. So, and then if Nurkic did play, you bring him back into the fold. So I guess if Nurkic was in, I would feel better about that. Which right now I haven't projected in, but I don't think that's a guarantee. Stat padding. I'm stuck at that price point at guard. Yeah. Hey, man, there's a lot of air and opportunity between now and lock, so we might be able to switch it up. All right, chat. We're going to wrap it up. Use that coupon code. Get in there. WED38. 20% off any membership, including $100 off the rest of the year and like 60 bucks off. I don't remember what it was, but whatever you do, type in WED as in Wednesday, 38 as in March 8th. Get that stuff. It's for today only. Probably good for another hour or two. So use it. If you don't use it, you lose it. And then come play some season-long baseball with me, man. Couple spots left. $100. Get in there. PayPal. We'll get you set up. If you don't have PayPal and you have some other options, I might be able to middleman it. But DM me on Twitter or Discord, and we'll see if we can get that set up. How do you feel about Capella props? Thinking he might play more considering the importance. So I have Capella first half fantasy points over. But the fact that the game is important also scares me because he can get hack-a-shacked off in the fourth quarter. Is betting on multiple props with the same player something you do a lot? Not really. But it's not something I strategically avoid, though. And 30 points to the Celtics. Yeah. Celtics have been through a slump lately. A lot of spots where they've been in and out. But yeah, hey, chat, on your way out, hit that thumbs up. I don't think we got to 8,500. 84.93. Yeah, we didn't. 7 away from 8,500. So maybe on demand. If you guys are watching this not live, hit that sub button if you're not subbed and hit that thumbs up. Let's get to 100. We'll be back probably tomorrow. NBA schedule was tomorrow. But I'll be in the Discord for a couple hours making some lineups and some player polls tomorrow. 2, 4, 6 game slate. So we might do a stream tomorrow. Maybe a little later start time. We'll see. But anyway, I appreciate you guys as always. Making part of my day be part of your day. I mean that a lot. Tell somebody out there you love them. I love you guys so much. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.